internet!
Hello, how are you, Dan?
You jumped! Did you jump?
No, I raised my hands like that.
Okay.
That's all.
He jumped. Hello and welcome aboard. It is time for Tommy to do another one of his reviews. The
Second one of this year?
Yes, it is.
Of Jolly January?
That doesn't feel right, does it?
No, joking January, that's what we call
This
it.
month has been going on too long.
It has, yeah.
It's already been going on for a year. Joking January.
So
You
we're
can read behind
continuing.
me.
Yeah, we are continuing with the comedy films, aren't we, Dan?
I'm loving the laid-back look you got now.
Yeah, I know. I'm very reclined. It's just a much better setup.
We've run out of green screen so we can see your feet, but that's fine. We like your feet.
That's all right, as well as my legs, and all that. Like it hides my leisure wear, but it's cool. If I'd have known this was the case, I would have dappered up.
People on the internet have foot fetishes anyway. I'm sure you're suiting a lot of your fan base here.
Oh, of course.
But before I let you crack on with your review, Tommy, I've got some news for you.
What's that?
I'm surprised you didn't get the notification.
What?
On Letterboxd, which is the app that Tommy uses to put all of his reviews onto. He's got to write them down first, you see, guys, because Tommy's not as young as he used to be. Therefore, he can't remember anything. So he writes all of the reviews he does on Letterboxd. Well, Tommy, I can reveal to you, I'm on Letterboxd.
Brilliant.
And I've been reviewing some films on there for you.
Have you? Okay.
So I'm taking over Joking January.
Oh,
No, I'm not really.
exciting.
Not even anywhere close.
I need to find you on it.
You don't need to. I'm following you. You weren't that hard to find, to be honest.
Well, now I found you now.
Yeah.
And you picked your top 4 movies. Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. And I've made a list as well. So I want you to go through those, whether you do it now, whether you do it at the side of your review, whether you review first, you do it later today, maybe you do it later on. Who knows? Who cares?
Okay.
You do it when you're ready to do it, but just know that it's there, and at some point I'll put a profile picture on there as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll bear that in mind.
And
100%.
I'll definitely write some reviews, and I won't review any of your movies.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you speak about. So, for tonight though, Dan, we are going to be talking about a 1959 film that's actually hailed as one of the best comedies ever written. It's a film called Some Like It Hot, and it was made in 1959. Who knew a black and white film that starts with a mafia massacre by gunfire could be so funny and entertaining? Joe and Jerry are two down-on-their-luck club musicians during the 1920s American Depression and are in dire need of work. After accidentally witnessing a mafia shootout that puts their lives in danger, they decide to go into hiding by dressing up as women and joining a girl band that travels from Chicago to Florida via train.
I did not expect you to say that.
Yeah.
I've not seen this, by the way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for those that watch this regularly know that I don't watch most of these.
Thus, comedy ensues as the two men have to continue to pass off as women whilst earning money to live, avoiding unwanted attention, and trying to earn the attention of the band's beautiful ukulele singer, Sugar Kane, who is played by Marilyn Monroe. Men dressing up as women has been a film plot done to death at this point, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
With classics like Mrs. Doubtfire doing it great.
Yeah.
Then you have films like White Chicks and Big Mama's House that maybe don't do it as well.
Nowhere even close.
But this film has a unique charm to it, being the first major live-action film to take on this subject for comedic effect, and I really took note of the director's choice to film this in black and white at a time when Technicolor was available. This was done so the black and white could assist in hiding the blatant makeup on the two cross-dressing leading stars.
That's clever.
So it was, and I've actually done that in my films that I make, like
You have?
to hide the, shall we say, less than flattering budget. Sometimes I put the films in black and white, and that really hides a lot of the quality.
Sometimes I go to Aldi for the makeup department. I do. Yeah. To hide all of that in the black and white. Did you know you can actually get some computer software to convert old black and white films to colour?
That would be an interesting thing to do, actually.
I want to try and convert, because when you convert it back, it's obviously not going to be the same, is it?
No.
The computer is generating the colour.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
We're doing that.
Tony Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis's father. Do you know Jamie Lee Curtis?
I do.
Yeah, his father is one of the main leads.
One of my favourite films. That In my top 10, Freaky Friday.
I love Freaky Friday
That's a
as well.
great film.
Me and my brother and my sister-in-law were just talking about that last night.
Were you?
Yeah.
It's a great
and
film.
how much the soundtrack slaps.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good soundtrack.
That's a good film.
Tony Curtis as Joe and Jack Lemmon as Jerry really carry the film on their comedic shoulders. They hit the jokes just right, and I commend them greatly for manning up to the task of dressing up as women for the acting roles in a time where this kind of thing was kind of looked down on, even for comedic purposes. Marilyn Monroe was a mixed blessing for this film, going by director Billy Wilder's recordings, as she turned up looking as stunning as ever with a fantastic voice for the film, but did struggle with her lines due to going through a terrible pill addiction at the time. So she was going through her own issues. There were even times where her lines were written into drawers she would be looking in during shots, because she just could not remember her lines for the hell of it.
Wow.
As well as the beach sequence where Joe chats up Sugar pretending to be a millionaire. The scene was meant to take 3 days to shoot, but they ended up filming the whole scene in 20 minutes due to the director basically thinking, well, Marilyn switched on today, let's get the whole scene in one go while we're at it.
Wow.
So they sped that up. There was the odd plot thread that was a little too convenient, which kind of piles up in the third act. It's almost like the film was in a It isn't exactly a denouement to show how the characters have learned from the story in the end. But the last line in the film is pretty good still. It's the last line in the film is, well, nobody's perfect. And that's a nice tap-out line for the film, and it's become quite an iconic line, actually. A lot of people do quote that from this film. Because at the end, there's this guy that's like in love with one of the men as a woman, and then he pulls his wig off and he goes, look, I'm a guy, man, I'm a guy. And the guy looks at him and he goes, well, nobody's perfect. And that's just how the movie ends, and it's just quite funny. So to close, Some Like It Hot is filled with gangsters in hot pursuit, tropical hot weather. I tried to fit in as many hot references as I could.
Oh my god.
Gangsters in hot pursuit, tropical hot weather in Florida, and insanely hot women, which all contribute to the film's title. But it is also a good comedic buddy flick about two down on their luck guys just trying to stay alive. But the quality of the humour in the film is what has made this picture stand the test of time. So on that note, Dan, I'm going to give Some Like It Hot 3.5 stars out of 5.
Not bad.
Good
not
film.
bad. Do you know there's a sequel coming out? Do you know who's starring in it?
Who's that?
Me and you.
Oh dear God. Now I'm seeing us in dresses and I really want that image out of my mind.
Well, coming soon to a theatre near you. So what do you think of my top 4 on Letterboxd?
I'm impressed majorly by one of them at least.
There you go. I'm impressive.
Yeah, so Back to the Future. It's a 5 out of 5. Back to the Future, definitely.
Yep.
National Treasure. I need to rewatch. I haven't seen National Treasure for a long time.
The pair of them. Great films.
Okay.
Great films.
Tomb Raider. Is that the first Tomb Raider or the second one?
That's the second one there. Cradle of Life.
Okay.
Cradle of Life. I love that film.
And the SpongeBob movie.
Had to be done, didn't it? Had to be done.
Yeah, well, I can safely say I would give one of those 4 movies a 5 out of 5. So,
well, I was very nervous for you to discover my Pixar top 20, right? So you look through that in your own time when I'm not in the proximity to be hit by a frying pan, and you let me know what you're thinking of that. God, he's looking at it right now. I can see him in the corner of my eye looking at it right now.
I see you're following me and producer man Steve.
There you go. That's why I'm surprised your phone didn't go off. I thought you would know about that and get all excited, but
yeah, it's not a bad list, to be honest.
The Order.
Oh, I mean, Cars before Bugs Life, dude. I mean, honestly, we need to talk.
But some of them are quite marginal.
Okay.
Some of them are very marginal, but it doesn't display that.
But Toy Story's number 1, and that's the main thing.
Obviously.
Yeah.
There's no other number 1. I mean, Toy Story 3 did get quite a big demotion on my list, I'm afraid.
That's a shame.
It's not because it wasn't so good, though. It's because, who wants to put something on that they cry to all the time?
Yeah, well, it just hits you in the feels, don't it?
So, I suppose you and I probably have different reasons for rating things highly.
Yeah.
I'm rating it on what am I more likely to put in the machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
but never mind, hey, we'll continue this discussion next week. Hopefully you'll have made another list by then, maybe.
We'll still be having this discussion all the way up until next week.
That's true.
Yes, anyway, you want to follow Tommy online, all you got to do is head over to Letterboxd.
Larkins 95, and Dan's.
That way. I need to point that way. I need to point that way because my camera's facing the wrong way.
And Dan, if you want to follow Dan on Letterboxd now.
Dan Moore Radio. That's more with 2 O's, by the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm on there.
Yeah, so now
I'm on there.
they can follow and abuse us both now.
Jesus. You're not going to want to follow me, trust me. Anyway, obviously you can like, comment, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube videos here. Do share them around. Tommy doesn't know this yet, we're going to start sharing these YouTube links onto the bottom of our reviews over on Letterboxd. Oh, you didn't know that one was coming, did you?
It's certainly something that can be included, 100%.
Tommy's not going to know how to do that. I'm going to have to teach him. Right, you at home, have a great rest of whatever you're doing tonight. And thank you for watching.
Take care, everybody.
Right, just to let you know,